bridge, hata hakuna maji, just on a flat surface. I don't know if you saw the bridge. We must do away with the 47. Do you know how big Texas is? The state of Texas. Na nilisema juzi mtu ananipinga. Kenya goes into Texas 2 times. And it is led by one governor effectively. Texas is the size of Kenya twice. Once we achieve whatever we achieve, tutaenda referendum. We are fixing the nation from the root problem, which is corruption, nepotism, tribalism, and partyism. Hizi pesa zinapotea kwa county, zinapotea na Sakaja na our governors. We must revert back to 8 provinces. Wacha tuzite counties. Let us have the coastal county, the western, muite Mulembe County, muite Pwani County, muite Nyanza County. Well, Kenya is too small to have 47 governors. Alafu hakuna kazi wanafanya. Mmesikia what my sister just said there. That is our target. Our number 1 target is to get rid of the presidency. Constitutionally, Ruto akitoka leo, Gachagua anaingia. Tunarudi kutena kwa demonstrations, kukufa tena. We are doing away with the presidency. Wacha Wetangula chukue. Legally atachukua for how long? In 90 days. We must go into election. The MPs who voted yes must all go, must all be recruited. So to go in a target. Target number 1, we gave President Ruto an opportunity. I personally was very happy when the president dissolved the cabinet. And I expected him to self-preserve. I expected him to listen to the people. Ruto had an opportunity to do what the people wanted without any of his cronies castigating him or attacking him. He had the opportunity to tell them wase ni wa Kenya na umeona wameingia paka parliament. So I expected him juzi when the president anaongea, I expected him to come and fire all the parastatal heads, and then fire all the PSS, and then fire every government official. He lost his chance. He lost his only chance. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kenya's best last option. And it will not come around again. It will not come around for another 100 years. And Uganda is looking up to us. Africa is looking up to us. Because revolution, revival starts from Nairobi. So the bullcrap of Cairo saying Bonnie did and you who did it, it pains my heart. And if there are people who are infiltrating and you've been paid, may God strike you with lightning. May the blood of Kenyans who died, whose brains were blown off, may that blood go straight to your family and your great-great-grandchildren. May that curse fall upon your head. Guys, I will repeat again. Politics is an act of a few organized people controlling a majority that is disorganized. Mimi nimeshikwa 13 times. I've been on the street for 2 years. Nikiitwa cloud chaser, joker, comedian. But finally I wake up and I see it's happening. Guys, tumepewa pena. Hata goalkeeper ametolewa. Tukihata tumehata. And I know Ruto'S people are on this, they're on this platform. Listen and listen to me carefully. You guys had an opportunity. And President Ruto still, junajua mko hapa ndani. You had an opportunity. You still have an opportunity. Tell President Ruto to fire his cabinet again tomorrow. Asingoje Tuesday. Fire all PSs. Fire all parastatal heads. Fire every single government official. And then maybe, perhaps maybe, that is the only way. Now, if the president attempts to do anything that we've had or seen before, akileta dialogue, alete committee, alete all platforms, the president knows what people are calling for. And this is not even about Ruto. This is about injustices that have existed since 1963. And Ruto is the last of his generation. The best he can do is try to forge a legacy. We have given him that opportunity. Fire your government, and the least you can do is call for, allow us to recall these MPs. Na wewe tutakutana wewe 2027 venye unasemanga, ama call for election. But in direction ya kuthreaten, there are 53 million Kenyans, and we must realize this, against less than 2,000 government officials, from president to MC hawafiki hata 2,000, wakienda sana 2,500 against 53 million. Guys, this is Kenya's last best chance, and it will not come around again. It will not come around again. Let's take our opportunity. It is a God-given opportunity. It is a God-given opportunity. Na tutalia kwa chuo. Watasemanga, now they'll talk about the other countries and in history books. There was a time Kenyans almost changed the course of history. And I will repeat as I finish. What are we aiming at? Tukisha achieve, county government must go. Women reps must go. What is the work of 47 women reps who are earning from taxpayers' money if within the 2024 finance bill there was a clause taxing sanitary pads that was only discovered by Gen Zs and men, not even women? These 47 women could not come together and fight and rally. Kazi yao, they must go. Kazi ya women reps ni nini? Na hata hao MCAs. Hata hao MCAs. Even these MCAs, they will one day very soon explain to us kazi yao ni nini. Kazi yao ni nini. Nothing has been done with, since devolution. Only corruption and nepotism and tribalism. Hakuna kitu imefanyika. Turudi kwa provinces zetu na tuziite county, tukuwe na governors wa 8. And every person who will get into a government office beginning now must take a pay cut. Because I'm assuming those are not people we know. We are giving them an opportunity. Tunakupea opportunity, atukujui. You are fresh, whether you are Gen Z, ama wewe ni millennial. We are starting afresh. You will take a pay. Utachukua mshahara tumekuwapea. Will not be unfair. Haitakuwa very high, haitakuwa very low. We are starting afresh and we are fixing the nation. Guys, our root cause, vitu kama hizo nimewambia. Women reps, I'm very disappointed. I've been following very keenly. I know who blew the whistle on the pads. It was not a woman. It was not even a woman rep. They nominated the nyamus of this world. Wanafanya kazi gani? They are not accountable. Afadhali hao wengine wameelektiwa, wanaogopanga juu wanaona watarudi. Kura itaenda. Huyu mwingine ako nominated, ana serve nani? Constituencies wake ni nani? Ako accountable to nani? Hizo ndio vitu za Moi. And finally, as I finish, kuna wakina Jomo Kenyatta, Oginga Odinga, Ochieng Aneko, Bildad Kagia, we know them. The first generation, they fought for this nation. And they gave us freedom from the white man. We had the second liberators. So you know what liberators? Hawa kina Martha Karua. Tunawajua, hawa walipigania. Akina multipartism. We must recognize that another one is happening now. Wakina Kenyatta waliachieve. Hawa kina Martha Karua walikuwa na kina Omingo Magara, sijui kina Orengo, they achieved multipartism. We must realize hii nyingine inafanyika, it is the last liberation of a nation. We celebrate Kenyatta and whoever he was with because of whatever they did. So guys, this is our last best chance. And it is not a Kenyan thing. This is an East African thing, it's an African thing. Asanteni sana, ndugu zangu.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric Omondi, for that submission. Masita Rus.
Thank you so much. I want to remind all of us that when we started all of this, we said we were leaderless, tribeless, partyless, fearless. And we are actually tribeless. You see, tribalism wants to derail the movement. Tribalism wants you to protect someone that does not want to protect you. Every time you hear our president, I want to put this across very clearly, that when the president is elected, he is the president of Kenya, not a governor of a county in Rift Valley. So there's nothing like our president and the president of Rift Valley. He is at work to serve Kenyans, all citizens of Kenya, the sovereign. Poverty is very high in the Mtuwetu counties. And it is high time that even when we go home, we go and educate our parents, we go and educate our grandparents, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters. Because this thing is not only about those people who are in towns, it's not only about the Gen Zs. These people are coming after the sectors that affect you as a person directly. That is the health sector, the education sector, the agriculture sector. When they take your seed sovereignty, when they take your food sovereignty away, you depend on them. Walisema finance bill ilikuwa rejected, but the appropriations bill went through, and we have seen the prices of things go up. Right now, we have seen the prices of seeds go up, seeds that were scarce during the planting season. They are now available, but they have gone up. We have seen the prices of fuel go up. And I know all of us are intelligent. So tunajua price ya fuel iki go up, everything else automatically goes up. Guys, we are tribeless. Refuse to be played with in the lines of ethnicity. And in fact, I want us to adapt this, that now we are tribe katiba. We are all about the Constitution of Kenya that recognizes us as the sovereign, and we shall underline that, as that man said. They want two things from us. They want us to give them a leader, and then they want us to give them a party. But leaderlessness is our strength. Guys, I will repeat. Leaderlessness is our strength. Tulimsikia akisema, wanasema wako leaderless. And you see, the thing that they want to do is give us a leader so that we can go after that leader, compromise them. Or if we don't go after that leader and compromise them, then we shall label this person as the person that is behind all of this. And then we tutamzungusha mpaka ajue who owns Kenya. But it is us actually, it is the Kenyan citizens who own Kenya. If you give them a political party, then they will come and say that, you see now, that political party, it is funded by anarchists, and they have not tired of that word anarchy all the time, anarchy reminding us. So if we give them a leader, if we give them a political party, tutakuwa tumewasaidia sana to create the 1982 situation, so that now they will sit down in their offices and tell us, guys, you see these people, they want to bring a coup. We are leaderless, we are partyless. If we give them these two things, they will forget about all the pertinent issues that we have raised and focus on that. And what are these pertinent issues that we have raised? Meritocracy, call for accountability, implementation of policies that favor Kenyans, and upholding the rule of law. My clarion call to everyone is, if you do not want to fight for the farmers, then fight because you are a consumer. You will consume these products. If you do not want to fight for the teachers, fight because you are a student. You are going to be a student, or you're going to have a child who is going to be a student. And so you need the education sector to work. If you do not want to fight for the doctors, then fight for your health, because you are the one who will fall sick and you will need the doctors there to treat you. Guys, do not be derailed. This movement has stood the test of all of this, of partylessness and leaderlessness. It is not time to be derailed. It is time to focus. It is time to focus. And all of this, mind you, is all by design. It is all by design. There's nothing that is by mistake. Steve has said that there's something called the New World Order that is about to happen or will happen. Guys, it is not about to happen. It is happening. They have taken away the food sovereignty. Now they're taking away the healthcare system that was working. Now they want to make us remain illiterate so that they can control us. And then they will control the population. How? By keeping you sick, by feeding you food that is compromised. Then you will need them. If you look at the trend of this political class, what they are now investing in, you will notice that they are investing in the healthcare sector, because they know that that is going to be the next cash cow, because you have been fed compromised food. Wake up. Focus, guys, focus. Do not protect someone that does not want to protect you. Do not be lied to by tribalism that will make you say Mtuwetu, he's for us, he's for us. Meanwhile, they are looting, they are being corrupt, they are evading accountability, they are killing us in the streets, and it is not enough that they have killed us in the streets. Now they want to kill us again in the long term by denying us food sovereignty, by giving us bad healthcare, by denying us education, by killing our future and the future of those kids that are coming up, and the future of those kids that we are yet to have. How are you going to have a kid in such a bad economy, in such a bad situation? Let us focus. The enemy is corruption. The enemy is oppression. The enemy is bad governance. We are not each other's enemies. We have to protect ourselves as the sovereign people of this country. We are the Kenyans for Kenya.
Can someone go ahead?
Yes, Edgar.
Okay.
Perhaps I can. My name is Mahanu, and just to give my contribution, I was supposed to pick up from where Nelson had highlighted a few issues concerning the JKIA takeover case. I wouldn't want to belabor myself and go over the issues that he had already mentioned, But what people need to understand is that whereas we're being told that there's a company from India that has been contracted to upgrade and develop our national airport, what is really happening is a complete takeover. And I will summarize it very briefly so that everybody understands. What is happening right now is that a PIP model of renovating and developing the airport has been submitted and has been approved. Now, the reason why we have a PIP model on major projects that involve governments is because there is always that special need to exploit or to explore that option, because direct competitive bidding does not offer the options. That means you explore this option in a case of a uniqueness that is contained in. Now, the reason why I call it a takeover and not a leasing per se, as it has been painted, is because the funding of this project is going to cost about, when the proposal was put forth, they said that it's going to cost about 2.047 USD billion dollars. But after the evaluation committee, they reviewed that amount to 2.05 USD billion dollars, which means they increased the amount. But let me even shock you. Whereas they say that this is a public-private initiative, the whole project is being funded from the current revenue that is being earned by JKIA up to a tune of 53%. Now, they say that they are going to run the project for 30 years, after which they are supposed to hand over. You see, the model they're trying to paint is like that one that we've seen working with the expressway, whereby a private investor comes in, does an infrastructure or a project, manages it, recovers their initial capital, then hands over the project to the government. But what is happening here? This company is not putting even a single shilling into this company. And this is how they are doing it. 53% is being funded by the current revenue earned by JKIA. Then 33% is going to be funded by a loan which they want to take using the title deed of the land that is owned by JKIA. And then they are telling us that 14% is going to be funded by an investor. And we all know, I'm sure you can all understand that if someone in the Kenyan context talks of an investor, we know what that means. But more shocking is this. At the end of the process of the 30 years, when they have recovered their 2 billion, which they have allegedly invested at this point, they are supposed to be paid again 2 billion at the end of the 30 years. So which means they allegedly put in 2 billion, which in the real sense they never put it. And at the end of it, they're going to recover 2 billion US dollars in a span of 30 years. Then at the end of the 30 years, they will demand again to be paid 2 billion. So that's 4 billion US dollars. Then they will own a lifetime stake of 21%. So clearly you can see this is someone that is domiciled in this country, trying to secure their financial freedom for their children and perhaps the fourth generations to come. So it is a very serious issue that everybody needs to keep on looking at it. We are compiling the petition, and by next week we should have filed the petition, and we'll keep on sharing and updating Kenyans the status of the petition. Obviously, by the look of the materials that have been placed before me, it is highly likely that the court is going to stop the whole process so that a complete audit can be done and Kenyans can understand. And so, Kenyans, this is just but one of the issues that is happening in one of the parastatos. So, as a way forward, we also need to start demanding for a cleanup of most of the state corporations in this country. And that's where actually the problem is, because government offers services to Kenyans through state corporations. Recently, I saw the cabinet secretaries being fired and then being rehired again. What we need to understand is that based on our constitution, most of these cabinet ministers, cabinet secretaries, much as they have a lot of power, as it can be seen from where we sit, the chief accounting officers of most ministries are permanent secretary, principal secretaries. Those are the people who control the budgets. Those are the people who run the ministries. So if you see a ministry failing or succeeding, it's because the principal secretary is either doing a good job or they're doing a bad job. So as Kenyans, we need to demand during this moment, much as we have long-term goals, we also need to ensure that we inject instant action that will deliver results for purposes of revamping public service. We need to demand that principal secretaries, they must be dismissed because they have failed the government. They have failed this presidency. We need to demand an overhaul of parastatal heads and chiefs, board members of parastatals, CEOs of parastatals, chairmen of parastatals. All these people belong to a group that is already rotten. And if we are doing a reset, we are resetting this country, these are the people that are supposed to go. Now, the other thing that I talked about, but I want to talk about it more today, we need to de-incentivize public service. We need to decommercialize public service. This is what I mean by that. Every public servant, and this is something that we want to start demanding, and I need every Kenyan to understand. We need to ensure that if you are drawing salaries from any public coffers, you need to be put on a payroll. Whether you are an MP, whether you are a CS, whether you are a principal secretary, we need to demand that everybody be put on a payroll, on a job group. The job group will decide the amount of salary you draw. So you can be a CS, but you don't have a degree, you don't have a master's degree, you only have a class 8 certificate. You are paid a salary based on your academic qualifications. That is it. That is how we will start de-incentivizing public service, and we will end up with the people who are dedicated and people who want to serve. Now, the other thing, someone may ask me, if you are saying that people should be put on, in job groups and their credentials should determine how much they earn, don't you think these people are going to buy degrees and they are going to use it? Now, I was thinking about it, and based on my logic reasoning, we have some rules in the discipline forces. In discipline forces, the military, the police, if you are above the age of 30 years, you cannot join the discipline forces. So, similarly, we need to ensure that we scrutinize the degrees and certificates that people bring for purposes of looking for opportunities. We should make it as a rule that if you have a degree that you have acquired above the age of 30 years, that degree should be declared just a honorary degree. It should not be used to assist you to get an opportunity in government. Because chances are, these people who get degrees above the age of 30 years, they have gone around, they have engaged in corruptions, they have managed to buy their way out in schools, and they have bought degrees. So if you get a degree above the age of 30 years, that degree should just be a honorary. So that degrees that can only be used to secure good opportunities and job opportunities are those ones that are acquired below the age of 30. And for sure, automatically, the corrupt people, the people who have been interfering with systems, are going to be eliminated. We will end up creating a lot of opportunities. And by doing that, only people that are dedicated to serve Kenyans will be finding themselves in these spaces. People who think public service is a space to enrich themselves will not have it anymore. So, as I finish and as I conclude, what is the way forward? I have heard people saying that in the event the presidency is forced to resign, that means the president and the deputy president, we will run into anarchy. No, we will not run into anarchy because we have a constitution, and the constitution provides very clearly that in the absence of a president and the deputy president, then the speaker takes over for 6 months, for 60 days, that is 2 months, then an election has to be held. Now, others are saying that How are we going to have elections without the IBC chairman? That is wrong. We can still have elections. What we need is goodwill. Even in the absence of the commissioners, elections can still be had. Previously, we have had commissioners in offices, but we've seen the bungle elections. So the mere fact that we have commissioners in the office does not guarantee that we are going to have a free and fair election. Elections can be had if we can be done if we have good people in offices that have goodwill, that have got intent to deliver good results and transition for Kenyans. So we must start demanding these things and we must have a strategy on the way forward. We need to action. We meet at the space, but we are doing very little in terms of actioning what we desire and what we are demanding. Talking too much and not putting pen on paper to action what we are saying will not get us far. We need to start occupying the SRC so that we demand that they review salaries of people based on job groups. Let everybody know that if you want to work in the public service, you are going to be paid on job group. If you are a CS and you have a class 8 certificate, you will be paid like that sweeper who is working in that ministry, not more than 20,000. That is the only way we'll be able to discourage these masqueraders and charlatans. Now, as regards the people who have been abducted, the people who are missing, we need to have comprehensive data. From this space, I know we have capacity and we have ability to get information concerning people who are missing, so that as lawyers and those ones the lawyers that we are here together with LSK, we can start putting our heads together, trying to trace these people, and where necessary, we can get orders of habeas corpus compelling relevant institutions to produce these individuals or their bodies if they are suspected to be dead. So that is the that is what I will propose for now. And finally, as I conclude, this current parliament, this parliament that approved the finance bill, needs to go home. That is the only way we can reset and we can restart. In 2017 and 2018, the former Chief Justice Maraga advised the presidency to dissolve parliament at that time because to date they have never implemented the two-thirds gender rule. In government, we have something called perpetuity, or governments operate in perpetual succession. That advisory is still on the table of the presidency, and this is a good time for him to implement that advisory by disbanding parliament so that these people can seek fresh mandate so that now we can do a fresh restart and start again. So thank you so much. Let us keep on engaging. Let us keep on pushing. Freedom is coming. And let us not be divided.
Okay.
Edgar, can I do?
Thank
Okay.
you. Okay. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Makano, for that submission. So we are going to end the space in the next 4 minutes. So I'm going to let Willie Oeba take the space, or rather, take the mic and give us
All right.
a spoken word piece. But before
All right.
that, the president
We,
today, excuse me.
Yeah, go on, go on.
Yes, before
I
that,
requested this.
the president today did call the youth of this country formless. I have one message for the president, or rather Baba Charlene, as most of you call him. The youth of this country are formless because you have not provided a good environment for them to thrive. In terms of you failed to actually provide jobs for these young people. You are telling these young people that you are going to create employment, I don't know, in whatever country that you normally say whenever you stand on public podiums to speak. You call these young men and women of this country formless because these young men and women are calling corruption in your administration. Your government is formless because you failed to deal with corruption. Your government is formless because you failed to bring the rogue police officers that go ahead and shoot peaceful protesters to book. Your government is formless because, we do not even trust you. So, calling the young people of this country formless because they are demanding accountability from your government, that is the biggest law that I've heard today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Willie Oeba.
Willie?
Thank you, Edgar, for the great submission. Tuesday tuna occupy CBD. So waambie hata waandike Nairobi in small letters, bado ni capital. Juu Kenya, mwenye natafuta kazi na kazi, kupata kazi ni kazi. Kuna wale wameandikwa kazi ya kufuta watu kazi, wa kupeana kazi ni illiterate, ndio maana bado hatujaandikwa. Chicken Cell amekuwa big fish. Kwa ofisi zenyu something is always cooking, but si mwananchi ana dish. It's high time tufungulie koti za maskini na tajiri juu kwa hii relationship. Wananchi ndio wabish. Justice is never served. Na mahakama ndio wapish. Kwa ballot box conversations zetu haziko candid kweli. Sisi voters ni mang'ombe, but how politician ndio mabandit. Justice system inajaribu kureverse roles. Sasa wanaita judge my lord, alafu God is my witness. Na Gladys anakuja kutuambia vile judiciary imefail. Same place she was boss. Surely. Na usiniulize mbona niko upset. Governor wa Nakuru wako kwa time yangu Twitter akiniambia vile poverty ni mindset. Hapa, the accused and a witness death ya witness before a witness against them. After corruption case double tragedy. Some of the commission inquiry ni employment opportunity for their corrupt families, useless bodies. Now the chief government pathologist is a pathological liar. If grabbing land is not enough, Yala River ndio kuna true water bodies. Other than finding ways za kututax, hakuna kile wanafanya kwa hizo maofisi. Hata the elephant in the room haina task. Na ni the executive iko na the lion's share. So dear Mr. President, during your reign, the youth were one bullet away from being a hashtag. Talk is cheap. Fortunately, citizens cannot buy that trash because wako $1 away from the poverty line na IBC ndio iko na price tag. Our moms wako one demolition away from kulala njaa to kulala nje. Makanga ko always one police stop away from lose another finje. The middle class wako one disease away from poverty, and every level of governance is a step away from humility. There's nothing to smile about when I know I am one stray bullet away from being a statistic. Na degree ni makaratasi tu. Now to put food on my mama's table, I have to be sarcastic. Kenya, life ni short na hata uhitaji kinyasa. Na akaunti ya mwananchi ni empty kama promises za mwanasiasa. The president is talented in the art ya contempt of court. The law is very clear. His conscience is not. Dear Mr. President, wewe ulitafuta kura na ukapata. Sisi tulipata rais lakini bado hatuna uhuru. Na tuna feel useless unless tunapiga kura ama tunaenda kulipa ushuru. Kwa nchi mwananchi analipa standing charges kwa kila kitu ndo MP apate sitting allowance. Kwa nchi mayouth hawana kazi. Wengi wamejiandika kama Flosin Mawano. Hii gavani kama mtu wako accused innocently juu haijafanya kazi na ni baada miaka 2. Viongozi tumeandika ndio wanatuambia tusome tujiandike. Hakuna kazi, wasanii ndio inabidi wameemploy gestures. Kwa nchi tunatumia mabilioni kupanda nyasi Nairobi na wasichana wetu wanawawa Middle East wakitafuta greener pastures. Kwa nchi university education imekuwa bure, hata servants wako na masters. Kwa nchi hata chief justice ana cry for justice. Hakuna mtu akoshua na hii katiba, ndio maana lawyers wana practice. Hii nchi inaweza kulia ndoto. Nikigrow nilikuwa na dream ya kuwa daktari, but now I'm just patient. Dear Mr. President, is it possible to commit suicide then uandike your own suicide note kama Sergeant Kenei? Na tukiaward Githeri man, tunakumbuka Major Seronei. Dear Mr. President, do you know the leaders of tomorrow are dying today? Ni guts tu hakuna, but everyone has something to say. Manifesto hope hazina, our mothers have resorted to pray. Na watoto wa CBC nani atawafunza hiyo A? Tumechoka. Even Rihanna doesn't want you to stay. Dear Mr. President, sasa tuko na deni ya kina Jet Li, tukuambie ukweli ama tukuache alone. Let's talk about morals. Tunaishi kwa nchi pia your deputy iko na mavice.
Mungu nguvu yetu.